Go. We are live. Welcome, everybody. It's Bruce here from Amsterdam today. This is Tuesday, May the 24th. Welcome, one and all, to the show here, watching the markets live in plain English. I'm just reading an article just as I was getting ready to come on with you here. This article came out yesterday, but it caught my eye then, and I had time just now to catch up on it. Interesting, talking about corporations that are buying back their stock. I'll tell you, when you have the S&P 500 down 17% already in the last couple of months, and your company has a budget of billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars to buy back its own stock, you're buying back stock here at these lows and saying, thank you very much. May I have another? In effect, company, the company is looking to buy back perhaps up to 5% of their shares in a calendar year. When these corporations were deciding that we were going to buy up 5% of our stock, they were looking at stock prices a lot higher than they are now. And they were figuring, well, we're going to need $8 billion or $3 billion, or in the case of Apple, the thinking was we'll allocate $90 billion for our stock buybacks. And all of a sudden they realize we don't need to spend all that money to buy back 5% of our shares. We only need 80% of that money, 85% of that money, because our shares have come down in price. And so corporate America, like Cisco as an example, Cisco, see here the alarm out there. Cisco is picking off their own shares now in the low 40s. Hang on, there it goes. When they had originally thought in their mind that they were going to be buying back their stock in the $49 to $52 range or higher. Here they are now buying the stock 41, 42, 43 bucks a share and say, thank you very much for this deal. This is great for our company because every share we buy back, we don't have to pay a dividend on it anymore. Every share we buy back is another share we don't have to divide our earnings into on a per share profit picture. So we buy back up to 5% of our stock down here. We save millions in dividend payouts, and we have a higher earnings per share number coming in for those who held on to our stock. This is where you folks come in. Those of you who are long this stock, or you have purchased, say, the $43 stock, if you've picked up $30 deep in the money call options and you're using those to write poor man covered calls against your Cisco, it's possible that in the next 6 months, Cisco, just by having bought back a ton of its paper and eliminating it from existence, in other words, they buy the stock and cancel the shares outright, there are fewer shares left to trade. Big blocks are held by institutions. They're not coming up for sale. Earnings per share will be revised higher by the analysts, which creates a higher price for the stock, which means, of course, your deep in the money calls become more valuable. And you're now writing options at a higher exercise price every time you roll up into a new series of contracts, say staying ahead of the market 2-3 weeks in time, $2, $3, $4 at a time in price. It's a win-win scenario. You can just buy the stock and let the gain come your way, or you can buy deep in the money contracts. Another winner would be Hewlett Packard. Going after Hewlett Packard and ignoring the so-called headlines out there that are saying something like, oh yeah, Hewlett Packard's sales of computers are off. This is going to hurt their bottom line. I don't think so. Hewlett Packard has a number of income sources, not just new computers. These guys are trading right now at $35.06 a share. The 52-week high is 41. That was just last month, a month and a half ago, when it was revealed that Berkshire Hathaway bought $4.1 billion worth of the stock. This company is buying their stock back all the time, billions of dollars of it. This is why Berkshire Hathaway is in this stock. It's trading at 6.3 times earnings. Do you think the company's not going to buy their own stock back at 6.3 times earnings? Oh, yes, they are. They're going to take it all they can get, all they're allowed to buy. They have the cash in the bank to just pick it off. And they're paying a yield of 2.8% right now on the stock. So if you own the stock, you get 2.8% on your money. They're buying the stock all around you, taking it away and eliminating it. The earnings per share numbers are going to continue to soar. Stock will be in the 50s a year from now. And you're sitting right now $35 a share writing options. You might be writing 37s and 38s this month. Next month, you might be writing 39s to 41s. A few months down the road, you might be writing 42s to 45s, and so on and so on and so on. The wealth comes in cash wise from option by writing options, saying, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" And then you're gaining ground as your stock is rising just on the fundamentals. And one of the things working in your direction, the company is buying up its own stock. It's a slow motion way to win, but it's a steady way to win. You can sleep at night. Um, Apple, Hewlett Packard, Cisco, Pfizer, Amazon now buying its own stock, although it's got crazy fluctuations. Wait for the split 20 to 1, then get in there. Yeah, there's ways to beat this market and not worry about a so-called bear market situation that we're in right now. It's irrelevant. If you're a long-term player, it makes no difference whatsoever. Welcome, guys, to the program this morning. That was my take on just that article today, reading up on how companies are buying up their own stock, and it's going to have a definite impact on their earnings per share projections. They'll be revised higher. All the analysts will get in on it and say, "Oh yeah, geez, yeah, absolutely." Whether they actually make more money or not doesn't matter. They're going to make more money per share because there are fewer shares outstanding. Win-win. What we're watching right now, we've got GameStop off $1.65 this morning. Not a lot happening here. Looking at pre-market trades right now, Rocket Lab is off 12 cents. We've got SoFi down 21 to 706. We got AMC off 18 cents. Matterport down 15 cents to 529. 23andMe is off 6 cents. I don't have any trades right now. Inspire, ATIP, SmartRent, or Sextera. I got nothing happening there, but I do have on Apple a 178 drop, $1.78 after gaining 552 yesterday. Goldman Sachs is down 312, gaining 981 yesterday, and at one point yesterday we were up $15 on Goldman. That wants to go higher. Cisco off a quarter, 43.11, gained 41 cents yesterday. This is, like I said, this is a bargain here. Tesla off $19, gained 11 yesterday. Arc Innovations down $1.12, lost 27 cents yesterday. Microsoft down 235 after gaining 809. Bed Bath & Beyond is up 3 cents at the moment. Pfizer down 29 right now, gained 41 yesterday. Hewlett Packard is down 59 cents right at the moment with a 41-cent gain yesterday. 34.47 puts Hewlett Packard into beyond unbelievably cheap. Buying $20 calls on this stock, you're paying 14. If it were trading right now, if you could buy calls right at the second, your calls only have a book value of $14.47. If you can buy them for under $16, you would do so and use that as covered call options for poor man covered calls. You can probably safely still buy $25 Hewlett Packard calls, and those right now are worth $9.47 book value. If you can get them for less than $11, man, can you make money? You're paying $1,100 for a contract, and then you can write a contract against the stock 1 week out, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, whatever you want. Your percentage returns, I think, are phenomenal. Gosh, if you had 11 grand, you could buy 10 of these deep in the money calls, I would think, into next year. And then you can write 10 calls at a time on Hewlett Packard. And even if you are making 75 cents a month in premium returns, that's $750 a month on an $11,000 investment. That's $9,000 a year on $11,000. That's pretty good return on your money. There are people out there who ask me all the time, Bruce, how much money do I need to be doing these poor man covered calls or option writing strategies where I can be self-employed, where I don't have to work anymore? Can I make enough income? And, for some of you, if you can bring in $4,000 or $5,000 a month, you got enough coming in. gosh, Hewlett Packard. I don't know if you pull in 25 cents a week, that's $1 a month in premiums on Hewlett Packard. That's $100 a contract per month. You need 40 contracts a month to make it work. There's your number. Well, if each contract is $1,100, 44 grand of Hewlett Packard deep in the money calls, $25 calls will put you on a track of self-employment. If you can better that by just being on top of the market like we are here. You're watching the swings and you're writing calls, and the stock happens to have a bad couple of hours with the market itself. You buy them back earlier than you thought you would. You sit on the sidelines, cross your arms, stock pops up a little bit, you write calls again. Bingo. Your objective at the end of the day is, I'm going to write 40 calls during the month. I got 40 I can write at a time, and I want to score a buck a share. I want to score a buck a share per month. That is, in 20 trading days, I need a nickel a day on my options. I mean, you break it down to what you have to get, right down to just what hedge funds are doing. This is what pension funds do. This is what mutual funds do. They'll look at their portfolio, and I invite you to look at yours, and you go, all right, I need $4,000 a month to live. I have 20 trading days a month on average, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, kind of. In 20 trading days, I got to make so much a day to make $4,000 a month, and that's $200 a day. Well, if I need to make $200 a day and I have 40 options that I could write for $200 a day, each contract needs to make X amount of money net to me to make $200 a day. That's $5 a contract. It just comes down to this down number. Not even $5. $5 gross a contract. You might need I don't know, a nickel a contract or something like that. You just do your math, and I'm doing it off the top of my head, so bear with me. It's not that much, and this is where some of you do it on GameStop, some of you do it on Apple, some of you make your money, your core income money on American Airlines or on Boeing or on Microsoft or whichever stock is your favorite, whichever stock you own, or whatever poor man covered calls you have. Some of you, of course, have a diversified portfolio of stock and or deep in the money calls over 4, 5, 6 different stocks at the same time, and you're constantly watching different scenarios. Way to go. You're becoming a portfolio manager. It's micro, but that's all you need. You need to be a micro portfolio manager for your own household to cover the nut and build up your returns and your wealth. Way to go, you guys. I'm excited for you. The Dow is down 194 right now. It looked like it was off 350 hours ago. I'm not so worried about this market right here. The S&P is off 40 points and NASDAQ is off 202. NASDAQ didn't come to the party yesterday at play. It was really lagging the market. The Dow was the leader yesterday, and we did have, an okay day yesterday, to say the least, on the Dow Jones. 618 point gain on the Dow, giving up 191. So what? This is pre-market. Less than 5% of market participants are in the market at all in pre-market. This is a nothing burger here. We might be only down 70, 80 points to start the morning at the Dow. Well, you know and I know. We're here all the time. 70, 80 Dow points, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and it goes 100 points the other direction in no time. I just don't see a massive exodus for the doors by market players today. I don't see it. I can see a little dip at the beginning, but I don't think it's got any legs to it. Just there's not enough nasty news out there to really create a massive stampede of selling today. I just don't have it. Now, again, the pundits out there are watching stuff like interest rates, which I'll bring up, of course, with you. Right now, the U.S. 10-year is at 2.82. That's down from 2.85. The German 10-year today is at 1.01. It was under 1% this morning, back to 9.9 0.759, 0.97, 0.98. Right now it's 1.0 roughly. Um, Currencies, euro 107.03, barely hanging on to that. I don't think it's going to hold 107. I think we're about to lose it. The pound was at 126, 120, tried to go to 127, couldn't do it. It's 124.78 again. And lately it's been as low as 122. And I think the pound is going to go lower. The pound, I think, is headed for 120 or lower than that. The euro will drop 7 pennies to eventually be at par to the US dollar, but um, it's valiantly hanging on to 106 ish, 107. Not going to do it. It's not going to make it. That's the latest over there. In Europe, the markets in Europe are negative. Uh, 3/4 of a percentage point, give or take. Nothing too much going on there. Oil this morning in Texas, 110.45. We're up 16 cents a barrel on West Texas. We were under 109 this morning, about 3 hours ago. We were in the high 108s. Now at 110.47, we're just eking out a gain on the day. But I think that crude is headed back to 105, maybe in the low 100s. We might be going that direction. Again, I don't see a massive need for oil globally with China's economy slowing down, with the lockdowns still persisting. I don't think the China lockdowns are gone. They're still in effect. It's a mess over there. Absolute in-house disaster in China. Oil needs are way off. The next 2, 3, 4, 6 months, all the oil analysts were wrong as to how much oil was needed for China's market. They're way overly optimistic. That now is sinking in to the reality of the oil market. Americans, yeah, okay. Americans can't wait to get on the road for summer holidays and all that. But you know what? At $5, $6 a barrel, $5, $6 a gallon, how many Americans are adjusting their plans? I think a lot of Americans have been adjusting their holiday plans for this summer. Where, yeah, we're going on a holiday. Yep, we're definitely, but we're not going to drive across the country at $6 a gallon. We're not going to do that. We're going to travel closer to home. Still going to be an outing, but it's not going to be that 2,000-mile trip or that 1,500-mile trip. It's going to be that 200-mile trip, 300-mile trip. We're still going to go perhaps to another state. We're still going to go visit some friends, relatives, and what have you. Yeah, sure. But we're not going to do this massive road trip that we thought we were going to do, or we may have talked about for a little bit of time. That's off until we get better pricing. I just sense that Americans are, Canadians too, are quickly just go like that and go, okay, Canada, we're not going to go from Alberta to the maritime provinces out east. Now we're going to go from Alberta to Vancouver, or we're going to go from Alberta to Manitoba, some of the lake country up there, or from Ontario, we're going to stay within Ontario, or we might cross the border into the U.S. and maybe visit New York State, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. We have places we'd love to go there, and vice versa. Americans coming into Canada, Canadian dollars cheap for Americans, coming in, spending some American money up in Canada, enjoying that. I just see people holding back their idea of just buying fuel like there's no tomorrow. I think there's a definite pulling back going on. My hunch. Right now, the Dow is down 183 as we're coming into the 40-minute mark to go or so, or 30-minute mark, whatever it is. S&P down 39 and Nasdaq down 196. The Dow's only down half a percentage point, like 0.57. This is not a bloodbath. Nothing like that is happening whatsoever. What else can I tell you? A lot of people watching what the administration is going to do and talk about regarding the potential of sanctions being lifted, like tariffs being lifted against Chinese goods. The U.S. dollar, having strengthened the last little while against world currencies, has brought prices down to the U.S. port of entry. That's easing inflation somewhat. It's kind of putting a bit of a cap on it, which allows the Fed to not have to talk up dramatic interest rate rises. They can just kind of be steady about it. Half a point here, quarter point there, half a point there. Europe, they're trying to slowly edge away from negative rates to slightly positive rates without damaging their economies too much. They would rather um, uh, stimulate their economy through government incentives rather than tackle the big bad wolf, which is inflation. They're just not going after inflation like America is, and even America is saying, look, if the inflation rate moderates a little bit, we don't have to be as aggressive on interest rates. And I think the Fed is looking for any excuse to not be as aggressive on interest rate rises in the U.S. So there's that going on too. Okay. Welcome one, welcome all to the show. Nice to have you here. 40 odd minutes away from opening the day today. Um, see how this all kind of plays out. Option writers, you got this market right where you want it. It's tailor made for you. You might not be able to get massive upticks first thing in the morning like you'd love to have, those first 2 hours where everything goes up and then everything backs off. Sometimes it's inverse. We back off and then we climb, and then you have to write later in the day and buy back the next day. You got to be flexible with the market. You just got to let it tell you what it wants to do, and then you pick your spots as a sniper, as an option writer, what you're going to do and where you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, the way to go. What else can I say to you all? Here in Amsterdam, you want a job? You got a job. There's jobs. No problem at all. Uh, I don't know how people live in this town very easily. It's very expensive to be here. But then again, we are in a tourist area, so forgive me. I'm not in the burbs of Amsterdam. I'm in the downtown core where all the tourists hang out, and it's definitely more expensive here. Uh, there's a big economic forum being held in Davos, Switzerland right now, the annual. It's, I think, the first one in 2 years, where world leaders and business people are converging right now to compare notes in person rather than virtually. So that's always a good thing. Get people together and get mindsets figured out. Russia is definitely being expelled all over the place. The absolute nonstop expulsion of Russia from the world economy continues unabated. Right now, we're noticing. I just noticed that Starbucks has announced that they're walking out of Russia completely. They're not even talking about, we're going to suspend our business. They're just shut. They're gone. McDonald's has announced we're out of here. We're permanently out of here. We're no longer part of this country's business anymore. This is going to continue, I think, and it's going to continue deeper and deeper and deeper. There's talk about an oil embargo against Russia. I think 2/3 of Russian oil is not being sold now. Like 2/3 of what could be sold by Russia is not being bought by anybody. Russia is probably having to revert to black market sales of crude, which means you're training it through railroads, or you are trucking it through independent truckers. You're doing cash deals, and this is extremely inefficient. If you cannot move oil through pipelines and tankers, you're not moving millions and millions of barrels of crude. And so you're moving thousands of barrels of oil, not millions like you could be. And there is no way you can replace 7 million barrels a day of production by shipping it out in a flotilla of trucks and a few train loads here and there. It's just not going to happen. Ship owners cannot get insurance for loads of Russian crude. Ships run the risk of being seized by certain countries under these laws that are being passed regarding dealing with the Russians right now, which means ships will be confiscated and will be idled at ports, and the ship owners will have to pay a daily fee to park a ship where they don't want to park it, and there's no way out because the crude can't be offloaded, can't be sold to anyone else, and so it sits in the ship. The ship sits where it sits, and no one is happy about it. So there's a whole bunch of the ship operators out there who will not touch a barrel of Russian crude right now. No, thank you. What else is going on? watching upgrades and downgrades today. I heard news today about Snap, the company. They have announced now only about 4.5 weeks since their latest financials. They've come up with an update saying that our numbers are really backing off, and that is because of this uh, desperate rush to normalcy by you and I trying to get back to a normal life again pre-COVID. Now, it'll never be the way it was, obviously, and good riddance to some of that, because obviously a number of you have discovered the I'm at home life, and I'm going to keep that. I really like this working from home world that I found. Love it. Friends of mine do it. I get together with friends of mine far more personally now. We meet at a local Starbucks together and we compare notes, or we meet, through through WhatsApp, or through what do you would call this, through Apple's phone system. We talk in person, but we don't have to meet each other physically. Co-workers have formed alliances from home with other co-workers. New co-workers have come into corporations that aren't even in the same city as existing workers, and so there are now these new intrastate alliances and intra-country alliances being formulated. A lot more of this is happening. It's a transformation of the world, and this rapid digitization of the planet. We're 10 years ahead of the curve. We're just 10 years further down where we thought we were right now, and it's going to continue that direction. So the world has changed. So the world of Snap and the world of Zoom, the world of Peloton, the world of DoorDash and others, there's a future for all of these entities in our future, but not the only way for us to do what it is we were doing a year ago. A year ago, we were, many North Americans and Europeans were all into the Peloton thing. We're all into the Zoom chat thing, and all the other disruptor stocks that came up. Now it's part of our lives. It's not all of our lives. It's a part of our lives, and I can see this making sense. Gotta say, between the UK and here in Amsterdam, the number of predominantly the number of males, young men that Jennifer and I have seen. Especially downtown London, it's really prevalent. Young men who have these DoorDash. Um, uh, how do I describe it? They look like big square boxes on their backs. They're not backpacks. They're actually on with straps. A square container on the back which holds pizzas and food delivery. The number of these guys is phenomenal. They're riding on electric bikes. They're riding on Vespas, motorbikes. They're on regular bicycles. A number of them are on foot in neighborhoods where they have 4 or 5 restaurants that they pick up from and deliver to in a set neighborhood. The number of people in London and Edinburgh here that utilize this service is phenomenal. It is not a U.S. only phenomena or Canada only phenomena. I know those of you in North America are going, Bruce, what do you? We know this is here. Here in Europe also, it is a big deal with the young in particular. The new professionals, that are now the at-home professionals here. They order in their favorite foods, whatever, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're bringing it in. It's really something to watch and to see. The takeout business has really evolved in the last 2 years, and here in Europe too. It is everywhere, especially these, like I said, electric bike guys. They're in the downtown core of these buildings, or of these cities, I should say. They're downtown core of these cities, and they're not polluting the environment with a gas burning motorbike. It's silent. There's no sound, no pollution, quick, and efficient. Probably cheaper to charge up the bike than to put fuel into a motorbike. Although motorbikes they're not gas guzzlers, but the stench that these older bikes have had. I think they've been outlawed in most of these areas here. You probably can't get a license for a motorbike or a Vespa or certain kind of vehicles over a certain age. You probably have to pass smog tests all the time, and they've basically been eliminated from existence in the downtown cores here. I know that London, the taxi business has to be all electric by 2026. So 4 years or less. I mean, we're into 2022. 3.5 years from now, it'll be hybrid, minimal hybrids, but likely all electric cabs in downtown London, which likely will mean for Ubers as well. Same thing. Got to say another thing. The Uber business. I tell you, I tip my hat to whoever perfected Uber, because Jen has an app on her phone for Uber. We used it in Edinburgh a few days ago. Today we've utilized it here in Amsterdam, and the lingo doesn't matter, the language doesn't matter. The map pops up, shows you where the car is, how far away it is from where you are, and it's darn accurate. We were at a museum today, a maritime museum. Ordered an Uber to bring us back to this hotel, which is all of a 6-minute ride. We couldn't possibly walk it down with Jennifer's hip. And the app said 3 minutes. The vehicle will be there in 3 minutes. Describe the vehicle as it does in North America. Picture of the car. We're looking for this silver-colored Mercedes to come and get it. Here it is. Here it comes. And hop on in. We didn't have to speak to the driver, didn't have to say anything. The driver knew exactly where we were going. Dropped us off through all the little routes inside Amsterdam. It's quite amazing. Right to the front door, because the driver saw Jennifer getting in with that walking stick. He knows he's got to get us to the exact door to make it as easy as possible for Jen to get into the hotel. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. No money changes hands. It's all online. You all know this. It's incredible. I have to say, born in 1955 to a world that doesn't exist anymore, to this world, wow. I know my father passed away in 2000. He never got to see Uber in real life action. He would be blown away today if he were around, to see how this world has evolved in just the last decade, 15 years. Truly stunning. I don't know if you read this the other day. I read this on I think it was in the Wall Street Journal, and I caught it on CNN, talking about New York City having just eliminated and removed the last payphones in Manhattan. The last payphones in the city of New York have been removed, and they're headed for a museum in New York, which is now they've dedicated an analog museum in New York. And this telephone booth, which is the last operating phone booth in New York, is in the display as such, that you're looking at the last telephone booths to be operating in New York. All digital, all cellular. I mean, I remember when cell phones came out, we heard about them in the 70s and then the late 70s and early 80s, and we heard about them more in the mid 80s. And then we found out that in Asia, they had taken over. They had really become the thing in Tokyo and in Seoul, South Korea, that cell phones were the thing. And they were the flip up phones, obviously, the very, very basics. And we thought, gosh, look at all those folks using these cell phones. They're walking and talking, walking down the sidewalk. I don't know if that'll ever happen in our world. Has it taken over or what? And when Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone for the first time, which I think was in 2004, I think he introduced the iPhone to an Apple conference and was showing the prototype in action. Little did we know that they had installed an AT&T cell tower in the parking lot of the convention center that he was presenting this thing at, and they had dedicated that cell tower to his prototypes, so there would be no way he would lose a signal, which had to have been at best a 3G single, a 2G single. I don't even know. But I've read and seen videos about the behind the scenes panic with Steve Jobs and the Apple engineers and the AT&T engineers. They were all panicking to make sure that this live worldwide presentation of the new iPhone was going to work without a glitch. And if you ever watch the video, you can watch it on YouTube. You ever watch it closely, you'll note that Steve Jobs is at a little like a lectern, and he's got the phone sort of laying. He's got about 4 or 5 of them laying down. He had his primary phone and backups, and each one of them had a wire attached to the bottom of the phone into the lectern. That they weren't wireless. He couldn't just walk across the stage with this thing. This thing was tied down to the lectern by wire. But everything was so black. You know how Apple presentations are. He would wear his black, what you would call it, shirt, with the high collar, the turtleneck, and then his jeans. And so the phone being the front of the phone being black, the cable coming out the bottom was a razor that you couldn't see it. It was so thin you couldn't see it. Talk about black. Um, you ever get the chance to watch the presentation of the very first smartphone by Steve Jobs? It was brilliantly done, came off almost without a hitch. It worked out, and you look at that today and you go, my God, what they did on that stage that morning was incredible. Changed the world forever, because in one handheld device it was a supercomputer. As Doc Brown would say from Back to the Future, great Scott, it's a supercomputer in your hand. And that was the future. And we now have it. Well, here we are. Now we can order vehicles with it. We can order food with it. We can trade stock with it, and you can write stock options with it. You can be self-employed with it. And you can be a YouTuber in Amsterdam with this big ass iPad, a laptop computer, and you can talk to your followers from a hotel room in downtown Amsterdam, where it is now 3:08 in the afternoon. And I can say to all of you around the world, welcome to my show. Welcome to my channel today. Thank you so much for being followers of my take on this market. We're going to watch the market together here for a couple hours. We're down 176 on the Dow. That's all we're down. This is not a 300, 400 point drop off at all. The S&P is off 39, NASDAQ down 197. I don't know if this sell off is going to last more than a half an hour to an hour. I really don't know if it's got anything to it. The world has completely changed, and COVID sped it all up and has forced businesses to completely change their way of thinking and how they interact with their employees. Those that don't are dinosaurs. Their futures are limited. They won't be around very long to torment us, because they will be annihilated by the forward thinkers in business that have figured it out, that the employee is the key ingredient to successful corporation. You can have an Elon Musk being the visionary of your corporation, but you need those army ants to pull this off. You need the managers to pull this off. You need the folks that have ethics, a work ethic that is second to none, willing to learn and adapt to the new world. You have to have that kind of a workforce, or your corporation is toast. And those companies that refuse to join the party in 2022, they're yesterday's news. And all of a sudden, employees have got this weapon in their hand that can find them a new gig very quickly, either directly from their own direct connections or through friends and other entities out there, and more organizations are now being created on these to help you find your dream gig, whatever your dream gig is. Unthinkable. I can tell you right now, when I was in high school in the 70s and I had to see my guidance counselor once a year, and I don't know if you guys ever had this happen to you, but if you're as old as I am, you remember this. Um, I remember getting a note where I had to go see a guidance counselor once a year. And to me, that felt more like a punishment. It was actually kind of being hauled into the office. What did I do wrong? Well, nothing you did wrong. The guidance counselor had 400 students that he or she had to monitor, and there would be four or five or six of them, depending on how big your high school was. And they would see a student for maybe 15 minutes once a year, and they would get in their quota. They would see their so-called student body in that time frame. And I don't know how many they did a day and how many they did a week. I don't know if they got in 50 of us a week for the. I don't know how they did. I don't care. I can just tell you that um, I had no idea who this person was. I had no idea what their job really was. In hindsight now, I guess their job was to sort of evaluate the student in front of you to help determine the future of that student's career path. And I'm thinking, 15 minutes? You're going to talk to me for 15 minutes and tell me what I'm going to do with my life going forward? And here I am in 2022, and I'm going, man, did you guys have zero chance of success because you guys had no idea. You guidance counselors, how could you have had any clue, any inkling what the world was going to be like from when I was in high school, which was 1970, 69, 70 until 73? That 4 year window, the next 30, 40 years, the world was not the same anymore. I mean, these guidance counselors were in their 30s and 40s and 50s. They grew up in the 50s, the 60s, the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. And they're telling me at age 16, 17, what my future can be for the next 30 years going forward. I'm listening to somebody who's can relate to the late 1950s, mid 60s, when they were my age, to tell me what my world is going to be like the next 30 years. We're talking about way off the mark. No clue. Um, some of them, of course, they guessed right. Guy or a girl would go in there, and the mom and dad, the dad owned a law firm, and maybe the kid had the chutzpah of the father and was going to become a lawyer themselves someday and join dad's firm and eventually take it over. And then there were kids who had parents that were accountants, and maybe, yeah. But then there were kids like me who had fathers that owned a music store. Am I going to become a music store owner someday? Am I going to be, my mother had a dress shop. Am I going to become the operator of a dress shop? I don't think so. You tell me what I'm going to do with my life going forward. Oh, and tell me about this. Tell me about this. You're a guidance counselor. Why don't you talk to me about what this is going to make a difference in my life? So when I'm 66 and I'm working away on my YouTube channel, and this is one of the key ingredients to my economic success, including my viewers who are global, by the way. You tell me about that. They had no chance. Do you remember going to your guidance counselor in high school? Do you remember those days? How these folks had no idea. How could they? It wasn't fair. It wasn't a fair thing for them to tell us what we were going to do with ourselves. How could they possibly know? And even today's guidance counselors, can you imagine today's guidance counselors? The world that they have seen change in front of their eyes the last 2 years, my goodness, they've got to be just stunned, going, oh, God, I have no idea what to tell these kids. What am I going to tell a 16-year-old kid today what his life is going to be like when he's 36, 46, and 56? Give me a break. I have no idea. In any event, everybody, welcome to the show, the channel, and your future. Welcome to the future, everybody. You've landed, you're here, and here we go. Let's see what's going on. Duncan, how are you doing, man? Oh, man, Duncan had a little episode here a little while ago. I hope you're better, my friend. I hope you're going to be okay. Thanks for giving me the heads up. And you pace yourself, my friend. Do what the doctor tells you to do and nothing else, my man. Anyway, there you go. Zach is saying my ads have all changed into Spanish while we're in Mexico watching you, Uncle Bruce. Mostly ads for coffee makers, and today for Rappi, their local DoorDash type service. Rappi, there you go. Abram Jimenez, thumbs up number 112. Robert Benson, thumbs up number 115. Nick, I'm thumbs up number 120. Thank you guys for giving us thumbs ups already early this morning. Oh man, so much fun. Nick S is here. Hey, from Blythe, California. How you doing there, buddy? Thumbs up number 124. Oscar number 112. Thank you, buddy. Gowdy, I still remember the first iPhone I saw was around 2007. A rich friend in school showed up with the first gen iPhone, and it blew everyone in the class's mind. Blew it away. The first place that kid should have gone to is his guidance counselor. Sit down with the guidance counselor, put that thing on the table and say, turn it on. I dare you. Now, tell me what my future is going to be like in the next 20 years. Holding that thing in your hand. Tell me, my man. You remember that? Oh, my God. Vilbus, I made it through law school. Graduated 2010 with a sick little flip phone. John, I finished college doing online tests on a BlackBerry. Wow, have things changed? Yeah, Mirko, if you look at Star Trek or something from the late 60s, most of it is reality. Who would have thought? It could all be beamed up now if we could just beam ourselves up. Coyote, graduating law school is truly impressive. Nice job. Vilbus, thanks. The impressive part is getting your loans paid off. That's the impressive part. Yeah. Coyote, Vilbus, I can imagine still paying off mine. I didn't go to law school either. I'm still trying to pay mine off. Vilbus, anybody else miss punching in your texts on the numbers? I could pound out full text almost perfectly without ever looking at the phone. Now I can't do it correctly half the time on a keyboard. It's amazing, isn't it? I knew I would be more or less trapped until I pay them off. So I just started attacking them as soon as I realized the public loan forgiveness program is a dumpster fire. Zach, knowing that each key was 2 press here, 3 presses there, texts were a lot shorter than not so many acronyms. It's true. The youngest kids today wouldn't know how to operate a flip phone. I mean, you see videos on YouTube right now. You can go to YouTube right now and see videos where they bring in a 10-year-old kid and they bring in a record player or they bring in a VCR and they ask him, can you make this thing work? And he doesn't know what the hell he's looking at. He hasn't got a clue what this is. And then there's some kids who go, I've seen this in a movie. I've seen this in a movie. This goes around, right? What do you put on it? How do you make it work? Now you hand young kids a flip phone that we used 15 years ago. They wouldn't know how to operate the darn thing. They wouldn't know how to send a text message. They'd be lost. Oh my gosh. Olivia, good morning. Duncan, thanks for being here. John, oh man, that's when the texts were quick things and you actually still called someone to talk. I'm surviving, buddy. Coyote reminds me of that the guy that worked for the U.S. Patent Office in like 1910. He proposed shutting down the patent office, claiming that everything that could be invented has already been invented. How wrong could you be, right? Right. Scott, maybe guidance counselors should just tell us about the magic of selling options and prepping for the end of time. How about that, right? Oh my gosh, anyone still using a beeper? Olivia, my sister and I used to page our mom at her work on her beeper when we got home from school. Laugh out loud. We're home now. We're safe and sound. We made it home. Coyote, flip phone texting was a thumb workout. That's right, Olivia. And I'll hold my orange Rugrats VHS for life. Not your daddy sofa. I'm still using my Buzz Lightyear walkie-talkies. Credit Savage. A good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. Hope everyone is well. We're opening in 10 minutes today. Going to get started here. We're still down 187 on the Dow now, down 40 on S&P, 200 on the Nasdaq. We're off 32 cents a barrel on oil at 109.97. That's where we're at right now. Vilbus, Gowdy, definitely a thumb workout, but smartphone use is going to give us thumb arthritis in the near future. John, my friend is an ER nurse, and they just finally moved away from beepers. Oh my gosh, Max, makes you think we defunded the Office of Technology in the 90s. I wonder why none of our elected officials know how the internet works exactly. Coyote, when I met with my guidance counselor in high school, she asked me, ever heard of Uncle Bruce? I didn't know who you were then, so that statement just frightened me, and I asked to leave the room, please. Please, I don't want to see this guy, Uncle Bruce. Credit Savage, hope folks sold some covered calls yesterday since Jay Powell, the red market whisperer, speaks later today. Oh my God. What kills me is you see these congressional and Senate hearings, and they bring in the top CEOs of, Google and Amazon and Facebook and Apple, and these fossils, these 70 and 80-year-old senators are supposed to ask these people questions. And what really blows my mind is a majority of Americans and a majority of Canadians, we are under 50. Now, I'm 66, so I'm not under 50, but the majority of the population is 30, 40, and 50 years of age. They're in the real world. They're operating their lives around this and laptops. And their so-called elected officials are hacks that won't get out. They won't ever quit. The only way they're going to quit their jobs is they're going to be carried out in a box to quit. They don't want to retire. Mitch McConnell, 80 something. Biden now going to be 80. Trump going to be 80. I mean, these people. I mean, they've given their time. They've given their lives. Thank you. Get out. Okay, let's bring in 40s and 50-year-olds and have them in their maximum of 10, 15 years, and let's turn it over. Put people in charge of the governments that can relate to the people that are governing. It's unbelievable how misrepresented we are by ancient folks from the past who just haven't got a clue what's going on. They couldn't turn on a cell phone if they tried. Do a text message. Give me a break. It's ridiculous, and all of the modern day decisions that we need to face are being held hostage by these ancient people who are failing physically, failing mentally, and we tolerate it. I can't believe we do that. I really can't believe we still do it. But certain things don't change. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, there you go. Ever heard of Uncle Bruce? A millennial run country would be interesting to see. Yep. Coyote, those who gain power are often reluctant to give it up. That's right. Power rarely cedes power. Exactly right. And if your corporation has bribed politicians forever to do what you want done, and as a CEO of your company that if you don't get the current administration to do what your company wants, your job's on the line. You think things are going to change? You're going to keep in power the same hack that you've controlled the whole time, and you're going to make sure that if a new hack is coming in, it's going to be your hack that you're going to back with millions of dollars through super PAC funding and all this other crap. It's just ridiculous. Scott, if you speak in generalities enough, then you will seem like you're relating. It's politicians' lingo. Chris, Uncle Bruce, they have not given anything. They have taken from the American people. They can commit insider trading and don't get in trouble. They become super rich while working for us. Crooks, all of them. It's amazing how many senators and congressmen become are thousandaires, then they become 100,000 heirs, then they become millionaires, then they become multimillionaires, and then they become multi-multimillionaires when they retire. It's incredible. And their families are beyond wealthy. It's incredible how rich they get. Yeah, why would you give that up, right? Ancient people, ancient systems, all dying slowly. Lame duck, I'm thumbs up 157. Thank you. 5 minutes to go, and we open for trading. Devil King, I'm 28. I'd rather my generation not be in charge of any country. We can't handle someone disagreeing with us, let alone run a country. Nick, I'm a retired semiconductor physical chip design engineer, EE, and have designed many parts of cell phone chips. Worked for many tech companies from 2 to 7 NM technologies. Very stressful work. I can imagine it is. John, lots of millionaires in politics. Interesting how a service job can create massive wealth. Olivia, lobbying. I remember when I found out that wasn't the norm or even legal in other countries. Not even legal. Good morning. I'm number 158, says Carol. Thank you for these thumbs ups, you guys. Zach, to quote The Who, here's the new boss, same as the old boss. Lame duck, June 3rd, 20-1 split, waiting to write. Yay! Credit Savage. Mitch McConnell has made $70 million while being a senator. Disgusting. Exactly. Scott, the Nick S. Wow, you must be pretty smart, dude. No wonder your trades work so well. Hardworking man. Yeah, well, I don't see boomers doing much better, says Olivia. Lame duck, Amazon, 20 for 1. Coming, baby. It's coming. Google split's coming. The GameStop split will be coming eventually. We're waiting. We're waiting. Thank you all for joining me today. I have to drink Coke Zero here in Amsterdam. Coke. I can't find caffeine free downtown here. But I'm admitting I'm in the tourist corner of downtown Amsterdam. I'm not in the burbs. I can't go to a big giant grocery store, so I can't find all the selection of this stuff. So I'm forced to drink what is essentially Diet Coke with caffeine in it that they call, what do they call this stuff? Coca-Cola Zero. It's not my favorite. I just like caffeine-free Diet Coke, brown fuzzy water. What's so hard about that? Oh my God. Anyway, welcome. How much has McConnell's wife made during that time is another good question. Yeah. Olivia, cheers, Bruce. Thank you. Cam, good morning. I'm thumbs up 166, buddy. Yes, sir. Thank you. The 200 thumbs ups are on the way here already. We're 2 minutes away from opening. Oh, and that caffeine is going to make this party crazy. Oh my gosh, we're going nuts. Thank you all. Cheers from Alex. Thank you all for joining me today. We're getting ready to open up. What's this market going to do? Alex and I got together in London, and it was great. Looking forward to seeing a few more of you on this trip. I've got a visitation coming up here on Thursday, day after tomorrow, here in Amsterdam. I'm trying to put a visitation together in Berlin. There might be the odd visitation here and there. Cool stuff. It's great to see some of you folks in real life and compare notes. Pretty neat stuff. We are 2 minutes away from opening the day up. The Dow is showing a 174 drop at the moment, now 171. S&P down 39. The Nasdaq is right around the 200-point level. Oil is down 13 cents a barrel right now. John, Red Light District, Uncle Bruce, Sassy Sinner. No, not even close. We went to the Maritime Museum, Jennifer and I, this morning, and we were able to get a wheelchair there, and Jen sat in the chair, and I got to push her around. And I think we saw about half of it, and it was fantastic. Really, really nice. Flat, easy terrain. But I got to tell you, we were there for 2.5 hours, and I was bagged. I was dead tired, pushing Jen and myself around. Got back here and got a nap in right away. Had to get some sleep, get ready for this show, and then caffeine up because I'm going to have a tough time not yawning as the day catches up with me. I still can't get through a good night's sleep yet. It's now been almost 2 weeks we've been here. I can't get a good night's sleep yet. Just can't do it. Too much going. My day now has shifted in time so that I'm with you in the afternoon and the evening instead of early in the morning and in the afternoon. And so the market brain doesn't stop, and the YouTube brain doesn't stop. There's no breakdown. There's no break at all. So we're running here. Devil King, come on, SoFi. We need a good month. John, rich in shipping history in the Netherlands. It's incredible. Splair, to be honest, I'm already nervous because our meetup, it's like meeting a star somehow. Oh, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Alex, it was great to meet you and Jen too, Bruce. I never realized that the Jennifer Aniston lookalike thing wasn't a joke. She looks exactly like Jennifer Aniston. It's incredible. Olivia, we are open, folks. We're running. We're trading. Let's go. I feel I slept for less than 2 hours last night and the night before, says Gayotti. Scott Brewer, bells. Oh, they're going somewhere. We're up and running. Alex, thank God you had your stilts on. That would have really blown my mind. Ding ding, says Stilka. And SoFi and Matterport show a breakout about to happen. I hope technicals are correct. Right now, I'm showing the Dow down 142 points for the first minute of trading. We'll see how this all works out. We've got Home Depot down $1.15 at the moment. Matterport, first indications. Let's take a look here, see where we're at right now. Showing down 22 cents to 522. Smart Rent 549 down 4. SoFi I'm showing $7 even with a low of 698 and a high of 715. So it's trying to figure out where it's going. 1.2 million traded on SoFi. GameStop 92.78 down 335. Now 93.06 down 307. AMC down 41 cents. ATIP down a nickel to 181. Rocket Lab down 7 to 451. Sixtera down 22 to 1267. ME down 4 cents, 291. Spire down a nickel at 137. Pfizer up 24 to 53.12. Hewlett Packard down 34 cents to 34.72. We got Robinhood at 980 down 27 cents. Vanik down 339. We got IBM up 6 cents. Microsoft down 223. Apple down 174. These are partial losses. Nothing to see here. Just too early to really know. Goldman down $1.98. This is nothing. We moved $15 yesterday. Cisco up 11 cents. So we'll see how this market wants to react. The Dow right now down only 127. It was showing down 350 this morning, showing down 170 to 200 all morning. Coming into the opening, we're down 127 right now. That's it. There's not enough push here. Oscar, neat. Devil King, the bells have rung. Kim Kardashian is featured in a new campaign by Beyond Meat, says JJ. FL, Google getting killed, probably off the back of a bad news from Snap. Zach, where's Larry traveling again? I think Portland, and I'm not sure if he's on the road right now, but he's out there. Let's take a look at some of these others here. I got Amazon down 44. I got Google down 131 to $2,102. Tesla's at $650, down 24.90 right now. What else? Let's see here. Costco down 280. JP Morgan up 2 pennies. Target down 324. Royal Caribbean is off $1.22 to 54 odd dollars now. American Airlines under pressure, down 41 cents to 16.34. Netflix 182 a share, down 470. Moderna down 396 to 133. Dang, SoFi $7. What the face? Why the face under $7 on SoFi? The bargain of bargains. You're getting your last chance here, maybe your last ever chance to get here in these stocks at super cheap prices. I don't know. $6.91 hit $8 just the other day. It's going back there. We'll see. Home Depot only down 37 cents. We're coming around. The Dow's off 193. We got S&P down 36. We've got NASDAQ down 209. Okay, GameStop 92.04 down $4. Some of you have written GameStop calls a few days ago. You might be getting closer to some stink bids that you've written. Keep an eye on that. You buy your calls back in the morning, let the stock have a little run, write new calls again, buy them back tomorrow. Who knows? The market will give you your trade. You just got to be there to catch it. 92 even on GameStop, down 413. We're near the low of the day. It looks like the low was just under $92. 91.60 is the low of the day on GameStop. We're 91.98 right now. That's what we got. SoFi 688, a little low trade there. Smart Rent 544 down 9. Matterport down 22 cents. Now down 23 cents at 521 a share. The Dow down 196 right now. Okay, there you go. GameStop 91.97 to 92.26 range. Now I'm showing 91.60 to equal the low trade of the day. Again, another wave of selling. 91.50, another wave of selling coming into GameStop. We're down 463. Make sure you've got your stink bids ready. You've got them in there in case you get lucky on a dip that could be a quick one. I don't know. We're down 206 on the Dow. We're down 48 on S&P. We're down 232 on NASDAQ. All right, there you have it. A little morning sell-off to start the day. We'll see what it's got for us. Thank you very much, options, for coming down. We buy back cheap calls. We're easy going about it. Calls want to back off, we buy them back. Calls want to go up in price, we write them. It's so simple. What can I say? What can I say? Gowdy, looking at my SoFi covered calls is like this. I'm not sure what that is. I don't understand these things. Of course, I'm old, so what do I know? Gold, silver, and bonds ETFs are the only green positions today for me, says FL. Right on. We've got right now the Dow down 218, Matterport down 26 cents, Smart Rent down 8, SoFi at 692 down 35 cents, GameStop 91.59, 91.41 on GameStop, 91.33, a new low of the day, 91.33 down 480 on GameStop. All right. Deals are happening on GameStop. Shares are backing up, and there might be some options coming your direction because of stink bids. So keep an eye on your stink bids, kids. There might be some deals here. Let's take a look here. June 17s, 110s. I'm showing 875 bid. I can't imagine that that's the bid at all. I can imagine that they're now down in the 7 range and falling. Calls are backing up, I am sure. We're down 219 on the Dow. We're down 277 on Home Depot. Now 3.25 on Home Depot. Matterport down 29 cents. Smart Rent down 13. SoFi at 688. GameStop 91 even now. GameStop 91 on the nose, and that puts us looks like at the low of the day right here, 91 a share. All right, there it is. See what kind of a dip this market wants to give us. I don't know if it's got that much in the way of oomph. I really don't know if there's going to be that much of a drop here. Dang, that's talent, says John to Coyote. There you go. Zach, SoFi drop allowed me all my buybacks. My limit bid wasn't stinking enough, so I gave up about 6 cents, but making about $42 on vacation is a fine day, any day. That's about 800 pesos. I'm doing all right. Way to go, Zach. 91.07 with a 90.83 low now on GameStop. We're down 506 on GameStop. Selling coming in a little more. A volume on GameStop, by the way, is 129,000. So we're talking real quiet here. 242 is the down dip right now on the Dow. 0.7 of a percentage point. That's all it is. Not even 1%. S&P down 52 points. NASDAQ down 252, down 2.1%. NASDAQ is taking it on the chin right now. The Dow is being reluctantly brought in. Not to worry about it. I keep saying what I told you this morning, right at the beginning of the show. Corporate America is using about $1 trillion right now, $1 trillion to $1.1 trillion, somewhere in that range, to buy back stock. Corporate America is buying back over $1 trillion of its stock this year. And they are buying right now at these lows. And why shouldn't they? It's the smart thing to do for the corporation. Cisco, Hewlett Packard, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they're all doing it. They're all buying back. Jen, come on in. Jen. Yep. Hi. Are you going to check that minibar? Yes, you can do that. And by all means, it's okay. Come on in. Just got some room service coming through here. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, check it out. I think there's one beer we've used so far. I'm live on YouTube right now watching the stock market. I think so. Is the room cleaner around at all? We he was gonna. Yeah, we need towels and garbage has to go and another 2 hours. But if he can just replace the towels to work in the logistics. Okay, where are we at right now? The Dow off 185. We're coming back a little bit right now. Down 185 on the Dow. Now 178 on the Dow. Recovering a little further. Jen is Lovely says hi to Jen. Oh, it's not Jen. No, Jen is here, but we have a rep from the hotel here, just checking on things. We're just getting our room service figured out. Our room making up the room, right? We don't need everything done, but you need towels and you need the coffee stuff and sugar. And hey, we're on the road, man. We're nomads. Okay, we're used to this life now. This is our existence. All right, the Dow down 166. Here comes a recovery. The GameStop got down to 90.83, and it's now 91.28. A little bounce back. SoFi 690 right here, down 37 cents. SoFi got down to 684. It's now 690. Is this a little bounce back or a little false bottom? What do we got? We're down 162 on the Dow Jones right now. Okay. That's where we're showing it. And let's see. Vilbus, my GameStop stinker already hit. Well done, JJ. Housekeeping, time to clean up the market. John Anderson, hi there, Jan. Fantastic. All is well. It's all good. And we continue on. The Dow right now down 156, climbing back from this 220-point drop just 3 minutes ago. There you have it. What can I say? You want to say hi to anybody, Jen?
I'll say hi to everybody.
She's saying hi to everybody. Yeah, Jen is here.
I don't get to talk to anybody because I'm not feeding you.
You're not feeding me. That's right. She doesn't have to feed me now. We want.
Is it noisy because that
No,
window is open?
I don't think so. No one seems to be complaining about the quality of the sound. The microphone in this computer is kind of directional, and it's catching me straight on.
This morning I heard a horse and carriage go by.
Yeah.
On the cobblestones, you can really hear their hoofs.
Sounds of yesteryear.
Yeah.
We were looking at some of these paintings, these oil paintings in the Maritime Museum, and there was one painting that featured this building with ships that were just out here, and it's kind of neat to see that because this building was created by the shipping companies together as sort of a chamber of commerce kind of a building with offices and meeting rooms, and a lot of deals were made here, I would imagine.
And you could buy here. I don't know if you remember seeing them, but there's one area where we have long windows, but some of the windows raise up. Those are the tellers where you could go and buy your ticket because they were selling tickets to the public to go to Indonesia and India and
Travel.
all over.
Travel. That's right.
It's
kind
of how ugly that was.
Can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine traveling in the 1910s, 1920s, from here to Spain, or from here to the New World, here to Brazil, from here to Indonesia, the Dutch territories. Well, steamships would have been different than, of course, sail ships, obviously. Yeah, a different world, but it was cutting edge. It was the cutting edge world of the day. And we have adapted to our cutting edge world. It's amazing. Good morning, Malo Shark. I'm number 183 on thumbs ups. Joe Olivia, a little bounce on GameStop. Get that other Jen back in here. Joe, bring both Jens in. Alex, good morning, Jen, from Alex. He's the one who we met in London. And he was saying to the crowd, it's unbelievable. She's an absolute knockoff for Jennifer Aniston. She looks exactly like her.
How to keep the people away?
How do you keep?
I don't know.
How do we do it?
I don't know.
Bodyguards.
That was so nice meeting.
It was great. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. Good morning, Jen from Duncan. Duncan, you hang in there, buddy. Take care of yourself. Good to see him here.
Oh, look, there's another ferry boat on the canal.
So few of them.
So weird.
Every 5 minutes, another ferry boat. wow, like they're really into it. They're really into the water around here. 1,000 bridges in the city of Amsterdam. Who knew?
Yeah, the map is very cool. How they made the canal, and then a little further out they made another canal. That it's
Yeah,
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 it, it looks very similar to what they're doing in Dubai right now.
that too.
It's got
Yeah,
that same
that's right.
circular kind of look.
Across this hotel has a roadway right beside him, and in the ancient 100 plus years ago, wagons with horses up and down.
Mhm.
But
Because the
the
boats come right
water
here.
over here used to be a wider canal, much wider, and there were warehouses on the other side of the canal where ships were loaded up from and unloaded from. That's all changed now. This across this canal, which is a wide canal, it's a commercial kind of a canal, not a quaint little 60-foot wide canal. This thing is 100 yards across or more. There's hotels and convention centers over here. It's all different. There are no container ships here. There are no supply chain. All of that is in Rotterdam now. Amsterdam is no longer, as it was, the shipping capital of the world. Finance,
It's still a
yes,
port.
still a port city,
The city
and
is the port. The port
and
is
the,
the city.
the finance of the port, the insurance and the banking and all, yes, that's still done from here.
That's
But
crucial.
the physical goods, that's handled by container ships at other much more strategically set up ports.
Taking a hot tea and a hoodie.
Right on, Jen. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We're down 118 on the Dow. We've recovered over 100 points now in the last 15 minutes. Good morning, gang, from Alexander. Scott sold $8 SoFi covered calls yesterday, bought them back just now, scored 80% profit. I'll keep skimming it. If it wants to keep dipping, there you go. And again, it's available to you if you want to make those kinds of trades. We've got GameStop now at 91.62, 91.36 range. The low on GameStop today, 90.83 so far, 91.24 now, 40 cents above the low of the day. The Dow has come back a bit, although it's falling again. We're now down 155 as we're backing up a little again on the Dow. Again, folks, you make your trades based on what the market wants to give you. If you want to write options on SoFi, you're writing $8 calls, you're writing $8 calls. I generally don't recommend it, but I understand. If you're writing calls on Matterport, you're writing $6, $7 calls. You're writing on these stocks way down here. Otherwise, you're looking to write on GameStop, looking for pullbacks. You're writing on AMC, which right now is 10.53, down $1.05 on AMC, just getting crushed. Unfortunately, 682 on SoFi. We're down 45 cents. SmartRent down 16 cents. Matterport down 34. Home Depot down only $1 to 285. It is not getting crushed at all. Just a slight pullback there. ATIP is off a nickel. Rocket Lab down 18 cents. Sextera down 26 cents. ME down a dime. Spire off 9 cents. That's what we have right now. Pfizer is up 27 cents to 53.16. So writing 53s, 54s, 55s several weeks out might be a way to look at going forward there. Hewlett Packard 34.20 right now, down 86 cents. If you can get your hands on $25 call options for Hewlett Packard out to next year, if you can get them out beyond next year, even better. If you can get them for virtually book value, almost no premium, I would buy those and use those as your poor man covered call contract. You're going to write contracts against those contracts. I think you can make some good money. I really do. 34.20 on Hewlett Packard. This stock is trading at 6.1 times earnings. Ridiculous. What can I say? What can I say? I can't help you if you don't do it. Robinhood 965 down 41 cents, going to $5. Vanik 224 down 577. IBM up 84 cents. Microsoft down 268 to $257.79. Apple 139.72 down 339. Writing 145s, 142s has been the way to go here on this Apple. Goldman 312 down $4.44. Cisco up a dime, 43.42, picking up 35s, 34s, 33s, 32s, 31s, and 30s. Any of those calls, buying those in the money calls on Cisco for next year or beyond is the move to make for poor man covered call writing. You might be able to get away with spending less than $1,000 on a call for Cisco for like a year and a half, and you can write calls on it for the next 18 months. This is a wonderful bargain. You got 10 or 15 grand lying around, you can pick up 10 to 15 contracts or more, and right now 10 to 15 at a time on Cisco. Yeah, that's called making money. I just think this is ridiculously cheap. Cisco right now is trading at 14.8 times earnings. By the way, that is low. Facebook 177 a share. Look at that. Facebook off 18.79 today. Facebook getting hammered. Low of 176. Wow, 13.4 times earnings. They defied the market last month when they went up to this 225, 230 range just in April, and now back to 177. Wow. Facebook. Amazon down $85 at $2,065 a share. Tesla at $643 a share, down 31 bucks. Google at $2,096, almost the same price as Amazon, down 137 a share. These are going to split 20 to 1. These shares are going to be around 100 to 105 bucks each after the split. Interesting stuff. Bed Bath Beyond down 35 cents to $7.98. We are talking a crushing backing up of value here. This stock was 27 bucks March 28th, and now we're at May 24th. In 2 months, from 27 bucks to $8 on Bed Bath Beyond, and this is after Cohen got involved with it. Unbelievable. BlackBerry down 24 cents to 571. This stock in the last 3 months was only as high as 780. It's now 570. In the last year, at one point a year ago, this stock was 16 bucks. It's now 572. Royal Caribbean 53.36, down 2 bucks today. We were in the low 90s, mid 80s for months, and I'm yelling, buy puts, buy puts, buy puts. Those of you who did it, you are benefiting here. You're getting your rewards. Unbelievable. Target down 367 to 150. JP Morgan up 190 to 126.50. Costco up $3 right now. Costco up 3 to 432. The market, the Dow Jones down 121 points. There's no shellacking here happening on this market. Home Depot green up 27 cents now, up 48, going higher. Matterport down 33, Smart Rent down a dime, SoFi 684 down 43, GameStop 91.08, and we're just above the low of the day of 90.17. Actually, we're dropping now 90.40. 90.17 was the low of the day. We're nearer the low than the high. 573 on the down dip right now. There you go. Hopefully some of you are scoring your deals on your option buybacks for GameStop. All right. Coyote, more GameStop for me at 90.69. Nick, Uncle Bruce, I wrote $8 cover calls yesterday. Today, I'm trying to close a position, but the system says it is not trading. What is going on? I don't know. Got to be your platform. It can't be the market. You're going to have to check with your platform. Alex, Coyote, GameStop is a bad habit for me. Can't stop buying it. Spire, Matterport, and SoFi are getting jealous, says Alec. Nick, sorry, it's on SoFi, says Nick. It's on SoFi. Having trouble. I would check with your broker. There's got to be a glitch there. I don't know what else it could be. Alex, the NFT marketplace is going to transform the business. The more I learn, the more I like it, says Alex. Interesting stuff. There you go. 148 is the down dip on the Dow. HD now, Home Depot up 83 cents. We've turned it around a little bit here. The Home Depot this morning was down to 282.70. It's now 286.80. So we've had a $4 turnaround on Home Depot this morning. $4 turnaround to come on back higher. 18 times earnings on Home Depot. Matterport is at 510 after bottoming out at 508. Not much going on there. 661,000. Smart rent is 541. The low of the morning, 536. We've come back 5 cents on 59,000 on smart rent. Not much trading. SoFi 681. The low of the day 680. We're at the low on 6 million shares. We are at the low of the day right now in SoFi. There could be a flip here. GameStop 90.01. 90.01 on GameStop. This, I think, is the low of the day right now. 89.97 has been printed, so we've already broken the 90 barrier. And so a $6 loss today on GameStop shares. Options are definitely falling your direction, kids. Watch for that. AMC 1054 down $1.04. ATIP down 4 cents on 34,000 shares. Nothing going on, just down 4 cents. Rocket Lab down 19.5 cents to 438 on 673,000 shares. We've got Sixtera down 28 cents. ME down 9 to 286 right here on 177,000. And we have Spire at 131 a share, down 11 pennies. And the low of all time, 125. That has been hit in the past. We're at 131 now. We're within 6 cents of its all-time low. Bargoons. That's all I can tell you. Bargoons. The Dow now 165 points lower on the session, with the SoFi at 678, down 49 cents. GameStop 89.58 now. 89.58 on GameStop. 89.46, another new low. This is the low of the day, down 667. Your calls are coming your direction. Alrighty, Scott Brewer says, Alex, that's a great avatar you got there, Gayotti. Alex stocking up for the split. Alexander wrote 7 Goldman Sachs 320s for this Friday for $5.05 a share yesterday. Looking to buy them back for $1.50 if they want to come to me today. I'm here, baby. Right on, Alexander. Alex Scott Brewer, thanks. Thumbs. Joe Olivia, only 317,000 shares so far this morning. Just no movement at all. Midnight Adventure, thumbs up number 195. Coyote, more GameStop shares in the 80s. Why? Yes, I think I will. I will partake of that. 89.50 on GameStop. The volume 340,000 shares. That is our day at the moment. We're up. We're down 164 points on the Dow Jones right now. Down 164 right now. And S&P flash reading of the U.S. manufacturing PMI hits 3-month low right there. Breaking headline just coming across. The Dow is off 163 right now. Oscar, nice. Got more GameStop. Got more SoFi as well, says Oscar. Rock and roll. SoFi 679. GameStop 89.63. Looks like the low has been 89.46. 89.43 has been the low now on GameStop. Down almost 650 on the session. There you are. That's what we're running into right now. Selling coming in bit by bit, but the Dow's only off 155. Home Depot holding a nickel gain right now. Any other gains? Pfizer's up 60 cents. Anything else green anywhere? JP Morgan up 175. Costco up 240. eBay's up a quarter. We've got AT&T up 11 cents, and that's really about it. Everything else is in the red slightly at the moment. I don't know how red the market will stay. I really don't know if it's got that much to it. It's only been what is it, 28 minutes? Not even a half an hour. Down 170 on the Dow. We were up 600 yesterday. This can turn around anytime. This can turn around. All right, we'll see what it wants to do. We're here for it. Absolutely. 89.40 on GameStop, the new low. 89.40 right now. 89.34, another low. Down 679 on GameStop. Okay. Right on, kids. Let me know how you're doing on your options. Let me know if they're coming your direction. They're working for you. They are definitely backing off. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Selling is coming in on GameStop. Not heavy volume. It's just selling. That's all it is. Nothing personal. It's just business. That's all it is. And yeah, I see those 110s for June. Is it June 17s? 7:35 bid. But I think my computer is behind here. My quotes are late. saw them trading at 8, down $1 already. I think they're backing up here into the sixes or fives. The way this market is going. John, really? Who's selling Spire at 131? Come on. Goody, more GameStop, more Coyote, 8888. I'm filled. Goody, John, losers and bums. Bart, hi, Uncle Bruce. A while ago, you used to mention writing contracts for 1 to 2 weeks out. Now you seem to mention writing contracts 3 to 5 weeks out more often. Is there a particular reason for this? It all depends on the contract you're writing. How close to the money are you? How far out from the money are you? And what kind of premium? When a market is oversold and there's an opportunity for the market to have a recovery, which this market is right now, the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P, Russell 2000, all way oversold, 7 straight weeks of selling. We are going to have a snapback rally. We're going to get a rally. It might be half the losses, might be a third of the losses. We're going to get a run. We're going to get a run. It's only a matter of if, not when. It's going to happen. I recommend being more cautious on your option writing. You still will write, absolutely, and you will take advantages of swings, absolutely. But you might be more careful on something like a GameStop. We're at 88.58 right now. You want to write 90s right now? I wouldn't write 90s for 2 weeks. I would write 95s or 100s if we want to get a little rally here for 3-4 weeks out. Gives me lots of time to adjust. If I need to do a rollover, I got plenty of time to plot my rollover. I don't want to get caught writing a $90 GameStop call now and having the stock 3 days from now or 2 days from now be at 98 bucks. Now I'm locked into a $90 call. I got $6 premium or $8 premium. I'm at best breaking even, and now I have to do a rollover because it expires this Friday or next Friday. I'd rather be down the road 3, 4, 5 weeks. I'll get way more premium money, and I can afford to write a higher priced call. Out of the money, all premium. That's the strategy, and that's why I'm bringing it up. Nothing wrong with that strategy. Alexander and Goldman Sachs filled a nice $2,500 profit since yesterday afternoon. Boom, there you go. Well, beautifully done. Stole S&P 500 just needs to fall 100 more to hit a new 52-week low for the S&P 500. Coyote, Bart, time premium, in my opinion, is one of the biggest advantages of being a writer. Get that time premium. All right, so writing out further is considered safer. Got it. Thanks. You got it, buddy. You're getting it. Check the classes out if you can. Those of you who are wanting to learn how to write options, you want to learn how options work, how you can make them work for you, check out my classes on my website, stockmarkerswithbruce.ca. Head on over there and get yourself into option writing classes. There's my website right there. Check out the classes. You'll learn all about it, and join these folks right over here. Here we go. Jen, someone's at the door. Jen? Okay, got it. Okay, just wanted to make sure you heard me. We're down 210 now on the Dow. We've got HD Hewlett, Home Depot down 324. We've got, hi, welcome. Come on in. Come on. There goes Jen. We've got where are we else right now? We're at down 334 on Home Depot, down 199 on the Dow. Matterport 506 down 38 cents. Smart Rent down 11. SoFi down 55 to 672. GameStop 88.10 is the last trade. 87.89 I think is our low today. Yep, 87.89 is the low. We're down 8.11 right now. Those of you who've written options the last few days on GameStop, they're coming to you. They're coming to you right there. Okay. Bart, yes, I understand. I thought it would be less safe to write further up because there's more time for the underlying to go beyond the strike price. No, it's actually in your favor, really. Alexander Scully, I'm slowly accumulating cheap triple Qs and spiders to write covered calls on the index funds. These rates, their steals could go down lower, but it'll be glorious for covered calls going forward. H. Gregory, Uncle Bruce, the end of May, I wrote a 98 and a $100 covered call on GameStop. I had two, but both back for 78 bucks. I thought I was screwed when GameStop went to 170s. I rolled multiple times, and now I'm buying back for $4.50. Nice. 475. Thank you. Well done. Glad to hear it. Glad to see it. And option writers always win. If you're an option writer, you can always be the winner. You've just got to be patient enough to let it happen. That's the key. Splair, I enjoyed more the dead cats than the crap this week. Dead cat bounces 87.93 now on GameStop. I think that is pushing, 87.87 is the new low. $88 is where we're at right now on GameStop. We're down 218 on the Dow. Not a massive drop on the Dow. We're down 67 points on the S&P. That's 1.7%. It is NASDAQ that is taking the hit today. It's off the 373, 3.2%. NASDAQ is the loser. The Dow's only off 0.7 of a percentage point. And those of you who are writing options, many of you are writing options other than GameStop and on some of the SPACs that we follow here, former SPACs. You're writing options on Dow 30s, and it's the conservative way to go. It's an absolute conservative way to go for sure. U.S. new home sales declined more than forecast in April. Another headline coming up, slowing down housing market, higher rates. People are thinking twice about buying real estate with higher rates. That's what tames inflation, slower economy. We'll see how this goes. Let's see. Bama Babe, great morning for my cover calls I wrote yesterday to buy back. All have hit except for IBM. Why IBM? Why? Laughing out loud. Just one more to go, and then she's made her money yet again. There you go. 245 drop on the Dow at the moment. Home Depot down 397. Matterport down 37 cents. Smart Rent down 13. SoFi down 51 to 676. GameStop 88, 15, 87, 80. That is a new low. 87, 80 is a low. We're at 88.92 right now. A little bounce back. AMC down $1.02. FL might write some puts on SoFi for 6. Just have to get the right price. You give me the right price, I'll write them. Yeah, there's not a lot of room to make a lot of dough on puts that are so cheap. But, you can write puts on GameStop. You can write 80s, write 70s, taking a premium and dare the stock to come down to you. It goes higher, you score the game. Yep, there's all kinds of ways to play this market. Absolutely all kinds of ways. We're down 221 on the Dow right now, down 221 on the Dow. Coyote, Bart, yes, but it also gives you time for the price to come back down too. Time's on the writer's side, never the buyer's side. They buy a depreciating asset. And this is the key for option writing. You're the casino. They are the gamblers on the floor, and they got to catch a flight. They got to go home. And option buyers are the gamblers. They have a depreciating asset, an asset with a limited time frame to make or break, where you can make money on this option, or you can roll into the next one. You can roll into the next one. You'll eventually get your dough. You'll eventually get your win. You just got to stick around for it. And casinos stick around. They don't go away. Alexander, Scott, it's part of my diversification strategy since I'm so heavily into these SPACs. I'm trying to do a bit of both, but my criteria is always to own 100s in order to write cover calls against everything. Alexander, I want that cash flow. Bart Goody, right. Thanks for the insight. Right on, guys. If you become a member of this channel, you will be able to do what's happening here. You'll be able to comment to me directly or to the fellow viewers. If you really want to get into option writing, you want to hang out with these kids right here on this channel. A lot of people compare notes as the market evolves during the day, as it turns over. And by being a member of this channel, you're joining people here who are truly interested in making money in the market, whether it goes down or up, it doesn't matter. We have viewers that make money in down markets because of option writing. And as I say, you become a member of this channel for $9.99 a month or $24.99 a month, depending on what level you want to join at. You can comment like right here. If you just want to send me a message and say hi, you can always send a super chat with a message. Of course, you can always do that. You don't have to be a member. I do appreciate those. We love having you here, and like I say, a pretty good group of people here every day, comparing notes on how we're doing, how the options are working for us, how the markets are moving, and from time to time we get alerts from our viewers, heads up that they've come across, and we're trying to stay on top of what's going on with this market. Lots to follow right now. Bama Babe, Alexander, good strategy there. Scott, Alexander, amen. Having round lots, the only way to get insurance on the purchase. Absolutely. Own 100 shares of a stock or own a deep in the money call option that you can use to write covered calls against. Absolutely the way to go. Now, the market at the moment, the Dow's hitting the low of the day. We're down 295. We're finally getting a little more oomph into the selling here. We're down 298 on the Dow. We're about to go into 300 territory. We're down almost 80 on S&P. We're down 405 on NASDAQ. So we've got a little sell wave coming through. We'll see if we're flushing out the last of the sellers, if that's the deal today. Beach Boy, hi, Uncle Bruce. I entered a 205 limit to buy back those GameStop June 17 110s that I wrote for 985. How low should the stock reach for me to get this fill? Well, for you, my friend, it's like these holders of these contracts. It's like Chinese water torture. As every hour goes by, the torture never seems to stop for these people. The stock right now is 89.96. It got as low as 87.80. You're out of the money now. $21 a contract. I mean, $21 a share. These folks are in trouble, and they know it deep down inside. They know it, and as each day keeps coming along, it gets worse and worse. And so these premiums will continue to shrink for you. Obviously, they'll shrink faster if the stock drops. And you're asking me how low does it have to go for you to get hit? It might need to go another $5, $8. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing it. It is what it is. But it doesn't have to drop as much tomorrow or the day after or the day after. And so you're getting richer, even though you haven't bought them back yet. You're getting richer because these calls are losing their premium quickly, dramatically. It's ugly. And I'm just going to take a look at my quote here, which I know is 15 minutes behind. I'm way back here, but I'm showing these 110s now at 665 bids. So yeah, you're already up $3 on these guys. I love it. And you're going to make money. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The stock doesn't have to drop anymore for you to get the 205 fill. It's a question now of timing. Now, you've written obviously June 17, so we're dealing here with 23 plus weeks of time still in the overall scheme of things. But your win is going to be a big one, and that's pretty cool to see. Again, you can put in a buy order to score them sooner for less if you're thinking of a recovery wave. But here, I don't know if there's going to be much of one at the moment. We're at 89.20 right now, 89.40. We could still break down to the 82, 84 level just today. We could beat 80 tomorrow morning, for all I know. 78, 80 tomorrow morning. We could be. I'm not saying we're gonna. We could be, and that will bring your contract to the $3-4 level or less. There will come a point in time where your contracts will really give it up. They will get to the point where they're so far out that they will just collapse under their own weight, and the gamblers will shift out of the 110s into the 100s. So they'll shift into the 95s, and they'll dump off the 110s because they're just too far gone. That's coming your way as well. You're winning with every dime that this contract drops. You're winning with every dime. Christine just left work to see what the hey is going on out there. Ascoli, GameStop trying for a small recovery. Who's in trouble? The option gamblers are in trouble. They're getting crushed. Option gamblers are losing money. The option writers are loving it. smiling from ear to ear, watching their wealth increase with every trade, every passing hour, every passing day. Option writers win. And that's what's happening here. Christina, should we sell covered calls on GameStop or should we wait? Right now, I'd just sit back. If you haven't written any, I'd wait, sit back. We're down 768. Give the market a little bit of time to see what it wants to do. We're down 351 on the Dow at the moment. Let's see what the Dow has in it. We gained 600 yesterday. We're down 300 right now. This Dow could turn around and bring back 200 points in no time, which could take the GameStop from 88 to 93 in no time. GameStop wants to give us a little rally today. Fine, give us a rally if you. I dare you. Then we'll have options written again. But at the moment, 88.45, we're not seeing a huge, massive bounce back rally on GameStop. It's as low as 87.80. It's only 60 cents above its low today. This is not going anywhere at the moment. I think we're going lower. 87.78 right now. We're at the low of the day right now on GameStop. We're going lower. We're going lower. Nazareth Day, the day ain't over, says Coyote. Bill just sold $85 put on GameStop for June 17, 925. Coyote, Christina, this is a good day for buying back. You can write whenever you like, but the GameStop option premiums are taking a big hit currently. Mirko, hey, Uncle Bruce, bought back 2 covered calls on ARKK Strike 45 for this Friday at 16 cents. I wrote them for 209. I wrote 2 covered call ARKK Strike 42 June 17 for 229. Beautiful job. Just taking money off the table like crazy. This is great. Michael covered. CC's looking good. Nazareth, Coyote, yeah, today is not a good day to sell, or at least not at the moment. Vilbus, as per the usual, my GameStop stinker was not stinky enough. Laughing out loud at the moment. They ain't over. Christina, I sold a $150 150 months ago, and I got $5,100 for it. It's worth $2,000 right now. Should I buy it back? The 150 is worth $2,000. Well, you could do this. You could buy that one back and turn around and write the same date contract. We could write maybe a 120. So buy back this 150 and lock in this profit. Now write a 120 for more money and let it depreciate. Or buy back this one for 2,000. Turn around and write a 110 for a little closer in time, maybe not so far out. I'm not sure which one you've written, but I'm assuming it's out there a ways. Vilbus, Christina, now is as good a time as any. Nick, I wrote 70 Twitter, June 17, 2022, $43 calls yesterday for $1.08. I wrote 70 of those. Now they're trading at 71 cents. I'm putting in a stink bid for 54. Is this a good idea? I have unrealized gain on this trade of 2,100. I would put in a 56, not a 54. Be 1 penny above the 55, nice round number, and butt in line at 56. That's what I do. 54, you got to wait for all the 55 guys to get filled first. If not 54, and you don't want to go to 56, go to 51 and bid it. Put a stink bid in at 51. So go 51 or 56, your choice, and see if it comes to you. That's how I do it, Nick. Vilbus, but it'll probably die worthless at this rate, says Vilbus. Zed, Uncle Bruce, I have 3 contracts with a strike of $150. I sold for $53.95 each. I can buy them back for $19 a piece, and I can make a small profit now on this whole rollover thing. Shall I buy back or wait for further profit? Okay, well, first of all, you are in the luxury zone in a way, because, of course, you now are finally to the point where if you buy these back, having sold for what you sold for, having rolled over probably to do this trade, you're now going to make money on the whole enchilada. Now, my guess is that this contract is out there for time. It's way out there. So what you could do, Zed, is yes, you could theoretically put in a stink bid on this buyback. And then you could do a turnaround where you might decide, I'm going to write 125s or 130s or 115s for closer in time for more than $19, if that's possible. That might be your next move to bring in a healthy premium, all cash, all time premium, no book value, and let time keep making you this dough. It's your call how you want to how you want to proceed. Theoretically, of course, you can buy back these 150s and write 130s or 120s or 110s and buy back at 19 and sell at 27, 28, 29, whatever you can get to bring in more cash for just as much time, but closer to the $88 level we're at right now. I'm not saying write 90s, don't write 100s, but 120s, that's a $30 move closer in. But if you can bring the time factor to you, I'd recommend that so that you're not so far out anymore with a call, right? Because right now you're ahead. Mirko Vilbas, a profit is a profit, so you won. There you go. Beach Boy, Uncle Bruce, thank you. Nice pep talk. By the way, ever considered a career in the wallpaper business? What do you think about this stuff? I tell you, this building, it's a museum piece, this building. The hallways, the lobbies, the grand staircase. I took some really cool video today. I'm going to be having a video on my travel channel all about this hotel, and it is phenomenal. I highly recommend you come here. If you ever get a chance to stay here, you do want to come into this building. This is pretty cool stuff. Alex, Beach Boy, in Dutch, orange too. See, in Dutch, when in Netherlands, go orange. Right on. Yeah, the ceiling here is way up here. I'll tell you, I'm a tiny guy. You look at up there. That's 20 feet up there. That's 20 feet up that ceiling. I mean, there's no way I can jump to it. Yeah, this is a big room. This is a tall room. Jen's in the living room. Same high ceiling, woodwork everywhere. It is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. All right, guys, way to go. Well done, everybody. Congratulations on your success on these contracts. Love seeing these stories where my viewers are telling me, hey, man, I wrote these for $78. I'm buying them up for $4. This is so good. Yes, indeed. Nick, way to go on your contracts. And Beach Boy, way to go on yours. Christina, she says, put in a stink bed at 1805, and that's with 20 feet. That's five Uncle Bruce. I mean, I could stack myself 5 times over. I still can't reach the damn thing. At 4'8" tall, I can't reach the ceiling. I tell you right now, no. Got to go back to work, says Christina. You hang in there. We are running this market here. We're at down 402 now on the Dow, 402 points. We're off 90 on the S&P. We're off 422 on NASDAQ. So the Dow is off 1.3% now, down now down 389 points. We're coming back a bit here. We're now off 1.27%. We're off 2% on S&P. We're down 3.5% on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is the loser today so far. You could reach it if you had a lamp. You could hold a lamp up there and touch it. I don't know. I don't believe in lamps. I don't have lamps anywhere here. There's no lamps anywhere in this room. Okay, 395 downdrift on the Dow right now. Thank goodness there are no headless Barbies here. I would have all kinds of viewers freaking out if that were happening. Thank goodness we don't have any of those. Home Depot down 325 a share now at 282.67. The low on the Home Depot is 280.60. A $2 recovery on Home Depot so far. Still down $3. Matterport 515 down 29 cents. Look at the smart rent up a penny. 554. It's turned around, completely turned around. Got down to 536. Just gained 18 cents here in 10 minutes. 143,000. We're green on smart rent. SoFi at 686 a share, down 41 cents. The low today, 669. Now 685. That's a 16-cent comeback here. 42 cents lower, but coming back. GameStop 90.80 to 91. The low was 87.70 on GameStop so far. Okay, there you go. AMC down 89 cents. ATIP down 4.5 at 181.5. We were down to 179 on ATIP, a little better. Rocket Lab is at 441. We got down to 435, so we're back 6 cents there. Sixtera 12.57 down 32 cents. We were as low as 12.29. We're now at 12.57. ME is unchanged. 295 here. We got down to 283, so almost 11, 12 cents coming back. Spire 131 now, down 11, the low of 131. This is the low of the day on Spire, 197,000 traded. Still up a quarter on Pfizer, down 95 on Hewlett Packard. The deal is still there. The bargain on Hewlett Packard exists. We got IBM down 40 cents. We've got Microsoft down 668 today. Apple down 512 to 137.99. Goldman down 941, giving back all those gains from yesterday, 307 a share. Cisco 43 bucks on the nose now. Cisco is down 35 cents. Facebook down $19 to 177. That's more than 10% today, taking a hit. Amazon down 124 bucks, 6%. Tesla down $40. Google down 188. That's down 9% today. They are taking hit. This is why NASDAQ is doing so poorly today. The big fangs are getting nailed today. Maybe a little too much, but nonetheless, they're getting nailed today. The Dow down 421 because Apple's part of the Dow. IBM is part of the Dow. Home Depot is part of the Dow. There's negatives going on there. But the Dow's only down 1.3 percentage points. There's a lamp behind you off to the side. I know what you're talking about. I don't see any lamp. Gregory, finally profitable for the year, laugh out loud, after GameStop buyback, says Gregory. Right on. The true repairman, Uncle Bruce, there's a lot of discussion about the shrinking middle class lately. What are your thoughts on it, and how does that play in relation to the market? You know what? The shrinking middle class has been a story now since the 60s. The middle class topped out in the mid to late 60s, and then in the 70s, it got shellacked. The beginning of the shellacking began because of inflation and high interest rates that went through all of the 1980s. Then the 90s, we had all this outsourcing going on. We said goodbye to really good paying jobs in USA, Canada. A lot of people got replaced by robots. A lot of people got replaced by third world labor. And look at it now. I can tell you that in the 60s and 70s, it was not uncommon for a lot of students and a lot of women who were re-entering the workforce again, or who just wanted a part-time gig. A lot of people were working part-time at Sears, Kmart, SS Kresge Company, Macy's, J.C. Penney's, all the department stores, your regional department stores, your local family-run department stores, the Kohl's of the world, all these brand names, they've all been eliminated. Those many of those outfits just don't exist anymore, either as an entire entity or they are a fraction of the size they used to be at one time. And it all turned into what? Amazon. It turned into the Amazon. It turned into the Shopify, the eBay world. It turned into the online world has been created. And there are today people that would have had a job, pretty good paying job, with benefits like crazy at these department stores. Middle class workers would have been working downtown or in the burbs at their local malls in reasonable paying gigs, and they would have had the discounts, the staff discounts for family shopping. So when it was back to school, moms working at the Walmart, well, not the Walmart, but at the Kresge store, at the Sears store, at the Macy's, J.C. Penney's, they would have had the discounts right there in house. They would have used their paychecks to buy their kids clothes and school supplies and their Christmas presents and for the family, and Father's Day gifts for dad, and on, birthday presents all year round. They've lost those jobs. They've lost all those benefits. Now they work for 15, 20 bucks an hour if they work at all, uh, at a you know, distribution center for Amazon, right? How impersonal. They would have made lifelong friendships with coworkers at these locations in these shopping malls. They would have carpooled together with the same shifts way back when. A lot more social interaction. Now it's all impersonal, and people work at Amazon fulfillment centers for 2 or 3 months at a time at Christmas, and then they're let go and they're not brought back until next year. It's a whole different world. It's a completely different world. So the middle class lifestyle, the middle class um, existence has been annihilated. It just isn't the same anymore. And now, of course, it's another new world, the stay-at-home working world. And for the first time, some in the middle class, some are actually able to make more money now than they've made in 10, 15 years. There are folks who are working at home now who are making more money through raises, getting way more money for their services than they got 2 years ago because of the competition for their services. Now, of course, viewers of this channel, all bets are off. You guys are making money that you never thought you'd make in the market by writing options. And some of you are doing very, very well. Some of you are getting better at it. Way to go. But the middle class as a whole is constantly evolving, constantly, and will continue to evolve. And whether it's for the better or for the worse, it's part of life. And we just have to buy into it that change is a guarantee. It's going to happen. Rosie Posey, Uncle Bruce, I bought two June 17 $65 puts on Royal Caribbean. I'm up 160%. Thank you very much. When should I sell to close? Go up to expiration. There you have June 17, 65s. You've got a nice little gain. Take it. Take your gain and say thank you very much. And just look for your next opportunity, whatever it's going to be. This has been a beautiful trade. If the stock wants to bump up 10, 15 bucks in the next couple of months, stupidly wants to do it, you'll wait on the sidelines for your next shot. We'll see when it's time. Nick, I was laid off in high-tech field as they can hire 6 people in my salary from Southeast Asia. There you go. There you are. And that's the thing about this world. There are those in the middle class and the upper middle class with skills, and they're still vulnerable to being let go. It is the America we know. It's really amazing. Alexander, in economics, there's a whole school of thought called what the hey happened in the 70s? What the face happened in 71? Yeah, that's right. Well, my guidance counselor, as we were talking earlier today, my guidance counselor in 1970, 71 had no idea that the city that I was growing up in, Kitchener, Waterloo, Ontario, in southern Ontario, that city was probably generating 2/3 of the wealth of that city was being generated by unionized workers that were working for the beer companies. We had breweries. We had Seagram's with distilleries, union workers there making good money. We had the rail lines doing a lot of business through there. We had trucking companies. Then we had all of these assembly plants for the car business. We had all of these sub assembly plants all in the region where unionized workers were making car parts. And I had a summer job one year, 3.5 weeks. I worked in a car plant, not in Windsor, not in Oshawa, not in Detroit, but in Kitchener, Ontario. I was working for a small company that was making parts for car seats. We were making, I remember those particularly, we were making parts for car seats, and they had to be made individually and then assembled into a larger unit by welders down the line. And there were guys that I saw in that plant who had been there for 3 years full time, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 18 years. There were guys in there, mainly men, almost all male, who were in their 40s and 50s, and it was the only kind of job that they had. And at the time that I was a kid, a high school kid there, minimum wage was about a buck 60 an hour, buck 65 an hour at that time. This is 1971, 72, maybe 73. The minimum wage was 3.30 an hour. The minimum wage in that factory, double the minimum wage on the outside world. But nobody in that factory made 3.30 an hour. Nobody, because the jobs they had in there were what they call piecework jobs. So you'd be in front of a press machine and you would be putting steel into the press, hitting the buttons, the press would come down and go back up, and then you reach, grab those parts out, put them in the bucket over here, grab the raw material, put it in there, two hands on the buttons, waiting for the thing to come down and up. This way your hands wouldn't get caught in the press. The noise they made was god awful, fearful as hell. You had plugs in there. I hated it. And you were making $6.60 an hour, making $9.50 an hour, making $12 an hour. There were guys working in there making $14 and $15 an hour. 1972, you could buy a brand new Ford Torino with a 350 V8 engine and a 3-speed automatic with that plush velour interior for $7,000, $6,000. You could buy a new Ford. And there were guys making 15 an hour, $600 a week, 30,000 a year. You could buy a new car for today. The equivalent of that kind of a car is $30,000, $35,000, which means you got to be making 120 to 150 grand for the same kind of lifestyle that we had, that I was witnessing guys have with no high school. They didn't finish high school. They had these jobs. Little did they know, and little did my guidance counselor know in high school, that those jobs, those factories, all of them, there were hundreds of them in Southern Ontario, thousands probably, would all disappear within 15 years. They'd be gone. By the mid 80s and by the 90s, there were none left, because car manufacturing became way more consolidated, became much more mechanized with robotics. And guess what? Entire seats, car seats, the entire dashboard of a car is now manufactured in Mexico, for example, and imported by the trainload into the US and Canada for final installation into a car. The number of people to build a car today versus 1970, you can't compare it anymore. It took hundreds of people to make a car. Now it takes dozens. It takes machines now to do it all. It's still evolving. Even more, it's evolving. Tesla's, the way that Elon Musk has designed the factory floor in Fremont, in Texas, Berlin, Shanghai, Tesla's coming off the line. How few employees are involved in making electric cars is stunning, is absolutely stunning. This is the future, and no guidance counselor could ever tell us that. There were guys in my classes, I remember as a kid, who I knew they were eventually going to be getting a job at these plants. They were going to be welders. They were going to be, you know, basic electronics. They were not going to go to secondary education. They were going to get a job right out of high school if they even finished it. I remember guys quitting high school in their second and third year to go work full time. They were 16, 17, 18. They quit and they went to work for 12, 15 bucks an hour because they wanted the new car. They wanted their own place, or their girlfriend and them wanted to get married at 19. She was already pregnant with the first kid. They were already going for the middle class lifestyle. But little did they know that what awaited them was not pretty. Not for most, it was really ugly, and that's how the world changed, right? True Repairman, thanks over. Your insights are always appreciated. Scott Alexander, does that have anything to do with the U.S. leaving the gold standard? No. Professor Mark Blythe has excellent lectures on it. It was when labor share of increased productivity stagnated and all began going to the top. Alexander Scott, if I remember correctly, getting off the gold standard was more a reaction to what had been happening than the cause of anything in particular, but it's been 10 plus years since business school. DQ, I'm thumbs up number 215. Scott, without this channel, I would have zero understanding of this. Nick, I did the smart thing when I got laid off. I was buying my dream business with my saved money. And I'm not making what I used to, but I'm very happy as I have no commute, no boss. I make money in options with Uncle Bruce. There you go. The true repairman, Nick, can you tell us what business did you buy into? He owns a hotel. He owns a roadway hotel in Blythe, California. Self-employed with his own business, man. Absolutely. Goody, Nick, that's the dream. Good work. I'm considering doing the very same thing very soon. Sounds dramatic, but option writing changed my life and has opened a lot of doors towards freedom for me. Michael, Nick S., I'm so jealous. John, career advice from someone that makes 40 grand a year in today's money. Nope. There you go. Well, the market, the world changed completely for these kids working at these factories. I remember the 3.5 weeks I worked in that plant. I knew I never wanted to work in an environment like that. When I came out of school, I was bound, determined to finish high school. I wanted to go to post-secondary education. Became a watchmaker. I learned a trade. At least I had a trade. But a few years after that, got into finance and found my calling there. My guidance counselor never saw the potential in me that I could someday be a stockbroker. Had he or she said, "Well, do you like stocks?" I would have gone, "What's a stock?" There were no classes 1972 and 73 about economics, about the stock market. I don't think there's anything today about the stock market in high school. Do any of you know of anything in high school that preps you for this world? I don't think so. Crazy. Anyway, what can I say? The evolution of our, the revolution of our lives, incredible. We're down 436 on the Dow, by the way. Home Depot down 374. Matterport down 34 cents at 510. SmartRent negative again, down 8 cents. SoFi down 51 cents to 676. GameStop at $89. The low of the day looks like was 87.70, I think was the low. Yeah, 87.70. We're at 89 right now on GameStop. AMC 1053 down $1.05. Unbelievable. Coyote, I didn't see or hear of any courses for the market in high school. No idea. Me neither. Obama, I'm so busy writing covered calls and cash secured puts now that I have very little time to chat now. But I know I'm still here. Hello there. Welcome, Austin. My intro to accounting professor laughed when I told him I was an accounting major. I used that as fuel for the next 5 years. F off, big fellow. Coyote, Bama Babe, make that money. Austin, I'm number 219. Coyote, spite is a powerful motivator. Nick, I just replaced all my old carpet in my hotel with vinyl flooring. Bought it from Home Depot, shorted Home Depot when it was trading high, covered it with a profit, paid for the renovation fee. How about that? There you go. John, nothing against guidance counselors, but what do they really know about you? And are they really in tune with the job market, present day and future potentials? No way. I'll tell you, I do remember in my high school, we probably had 6 of them. They had their own little office area in the admin department, and they had their little coffee maker. And, some of them were young. They were in their late 20s. Some were in their 30s, but then there were a couple who were in their 50s. And I kind of now understand it now that I'm older. I get it that there were those guidance counselors who had been counselors now for 25 years. They had that cushy job. And all they were doing was counting the days until they retired. That's all they were doing. They were working the school year. They got all the holiday time in the middle of the school year, like Easter break and Christmas break and, paid time off. Then they got the summer off. And these folks were waiting for the retirement to come through, and they were done. They had long checked out as far as motivating young kids and all that. So they were just going through the motions. I mean, I would get a pamphlet from the government of Canada, about career opportunities in the 70s. And we're talking pathetic stuff. Whoever produced that pamphlet won a government contract, probably through a contact of theirs in Ottawa, that gave them this national print contract at an outrageous price. I was probably being given a pamphlet that cost the taxpayer 50 cents a piece that should have cost a penny, whatever. I had no motivation from any guidance counselor, and I had to meet them every year for 4 years in high school. Every year I had to see the guidance counselor. I remember the last time, I kind of remember the last time they would say to me, "What are your plans now? Like, what are your future plans?" What they were doing is they were asking us who were leaving the school to give them ideas to pass on to other kids that were behind us. And I told my guidance counselor in the last year, well, I am between my dad and I think we figured out a course, a pathway for me forward. I'm going to go to college in Toronto, and I'm going to become a watchmaker. And the counselor would have looked at me like, huh? What's that? Yeah, totally clueless, totally clueless. And so here I am educating the counselor. This is what I'm going to do with the next 3 years of my life. I'm going to take these courses and get licensed in Ontario as a watchmaker. I have a trade. I got a trade. I have a job at any jewelry store in the province. And that the guys who are watchmakers now are averaging 64 years of age. And I'm 19, I'm 20, 21. When I graduate, I'll be 21 years old, 22 years old, and I'm going to replace 62-year-old guys. What competition have I got? Zero. The thing was that within 5 years of me graduating college in 77, by 82, 84, the Seiko watch company took over the world with battery operated watches. And so did Bulova and everybody else. They went into the battery operated crystal watch, which came plummeting down in price to the point where you would buy a watch at a drugstore for $19.99. That's the world that watches became, until they became extinct, because I don't have a watch on my hand. My watch is on my phone. Now today, the chic thing to do as a millennial and a Generation Z or X or whatever it is to have a mechanical watch on your wrist, self-winding mechanical watch, which means watchmakers are back in business again in the high-end stuff. But I'm not going there. Thanks, but no thanks. Scott, Bama Babe, happy hunting to you. Coyote, I got into programming late. A lot of others in college had been programming for years, says Coyote. I had one partner with me, and when he found out I just began programming, he told me to give up whole in ahead. He failed out of the class. I made A's in all my programming courses and graduated. He dropped out of college. Sucks to suck, my guy. Thanks for the motivation. While I'm ahead, there it is. Coyote sounds like a nice guy. Carol, here in Florida, Carol Ovi, here in Florida, starting next year, 2023, high schoolers will need to pass a financial literacy test to graduate. About time. Nick, I learned a lot in this business and learning more every day. If this stupid COVID thing did not hit us all, it would have been good. Coyote, Austin, he was a total jerk, says Coyote. Very arrogant and thought he was super intelligent. Spent the entire project passive aggressively making comments at me. I'll never forget that guy. Carol, my son is in sixth grade. He's on the sixth grade, and he knows how to sell covered calls now watching Uncle Bruce. There you go. Smartest kid in the class. Karim, why is Snap announcement such an effect on the NASDAQ? Just further showing how bad things are. I tell you, sometimes the market needs one thing to move in a one direction or another. It just needs one comment, one company, one announcement, one anything. And today it was the Snap announcement. Snap basically came out and said we had released our financials a month and a half ago. We are forecasting new financials for the rest of this quarter. Going forward, our business is lower, and that set it off. That set off the selling of Google and Amazon and everybody else, Facebook. And here we go. Rightly or wrongly, it set it off, and there we are. That's what we got. Christina, my GameStop 150 covered call buyback just filled at 18.95, $3,200 profit. Thank you very much. Nicely done. Way to go. Coyote Carol OV, what I would give to have an adult share that knowledge with me at that age. He is going to be set for life with this knowledge, learning how to write covered calls in grade 6. Coyote, Christina, nice going. John, isn't it crazy that we all remember that person that did us wrong? The people that try to get ahead by pushing others down. Yeah, F them goes. Those guys. There you go. Michael, Carol Ovi, that is awesome. Nicely done. Bama Bait, Christina, way to go on that trade. Carol, Coyote, same here. That's why I'm helping him now. He's very good. Makes me so happy. Carol, Mike, nice going. Thank you. There's motivators in our lives, and then there's the unmotivators in our life. There's the relatives that you looked up to, and the relatives that you just kind of went, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that girl. I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be that couple. I'm not going to have that outlook on life. And then there's those who motivate you, and you just go, wow, these are people I want to hang around. These are the kind of people I like being near. It is pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I agree. Lame duck writing options is something we can all pass down to help your kids forever. Coyote, SoFi low of the day bid just hit on SoFi, 670. Coyote, Christina, beautiful, ka-ching, ka-ching, nicely done, scoring a nice little game. Way to go, you guys, making some dough. Happy for that. Fabulous. We're down 501 points on the Dow. We were up 600 yesterday. We're down 500 today. It didn't start this bad, but it's turned into a 500-point drop on the day. We're down 378 on HD Home Depot. Matterport is at 506, down 39 cents. We're on SmartRent now, down a dime to 543. SoFi is sitting at $6.70. The low of the day, 669 on 13.3 million. GameStop at 89.74, $89 over here. We're trying to figure out where we're at right now. 89.74, the low of the day, 87.70. So about $2 off the low of the day on GameStop. We're not going very far, are we? AMC down $1.03 to 10.55. ATIP now is sitting at 181, down a nickel. Rocket Lab 439.5 cents, down 18.5 cents. Xterra down 33 cents right now, 12.56. ME 284.5, down 10.5 cents. Spire 130.5, down 11.5 cents. Pfizer gone red, it's down 3 cents. HBQ down 102 to 34.04. Twitter at 36.50, down 132. We got Robinhood now sitting at 9.32, down 75 cents. Backing off. Vanik, $222.93, down 707. IBM down only 47 cents. Microsoft down 574. Apple down 503. Goldman down 887. Cisco down 73 cents. Facebook down 19.24. Amazon, we're off $95. Tesla down $40. Google down 173. Yeah, it's red out there. It's red, red, red. Costco's up 26 cents, the only gainer over there. Everybody else is in the red right now. The Dow right now, 461 points on the downside as we speak, with GameStop at $90 on the nose, down 613 today. The whole market is taking a shot in the chin right now, says Nazareth. People are asking, how much lower can the market go? How much faster? Every point we back off is a point we're going to get back on a snapback rally. But I can tell you, the down thing can continue unreasonably, and then the upside can go unreasonably. And we can go too far on the upside, too far on the downside, and everywhere in between. And you guys have got to be around to pick your spots as option writers and take the money off the table. because the gamblers are there. They're just trying to figure out where to gamble. You've just got to give them opportunities to let them gamble in your stock through options you're going to create. That's really all there is to it. Interesting stuff. Down 481 right now on the Dow Jones. We're down 96 on S&P. Let me actually refresh it. 95 on S&P, yeah, and 423 on NASDAQ, down 3.7%. The Dow's down 1.5. That is what we've got going on in the marketplace at the moment. And there it is. 89.63 now, 89.43 on GameStop, coming back under 90 at the moment. SoFi 668 down 59 cents, 58 cents. The low of the day 668. We're at 669. 13.7 million volume on SoFi. Bargoons down here. SmartRent 542 down 11. Matterport 503 down 41 on only 1.6 million. And this is the low of the day right here, 503. There you go. Watching the markets as they continue to defy logic, do what they want, overreact. What word do you want to use? Interest rates right now, the U.S. 10-year. See if I can get this to work here. My machine here. See if I get this to go. U.S. 10-year, 2.82%. We're down from the 2.85 range. Not a lot. The German market, the 10-year, 1.02%. Just over 1% on the 10-year for Germany. Currency, we have euro holding 107, just 107.26. The pound at 125.20. It's recovered back over 125, but it was at 126 yesterday. Hanging around at the moment. Oil right now up a dime, a thin dime on oil, 110.39 a barrel. Not getting a lot of stuff going on here. Not going on with much. And we've got the Dow round down 484 on the day. That's what we're at right now. Okay. There it is. We're now into this market here. Where am I? Here we go. We're now into this market. We're into the show 2 hours, 26 minutes, and we're kind of sitting here with a negative 470 market, 478. Nazareth, 387 on Spire. This is the level. If it breaks this, then we're looking at 355. FL saying we got ugly numbers today. That's what we got right now. Yep, up 9 on oil. Not much going on. Let's see. Take a look over here. We've got headlines. Headlines out of CNBC. The VIX is up 2.38 points to 3090. So that's negative for sure. Definitely trending negative. The Russell 2000 is off 2.7%. Not quite as bad as NASDAQ, but definitely worse off than S&P and the Dow right now. The Russell 2000 is down 48.5 points. New home sales tumbled by 16% in April while prices soared. Interesting. Abercrombie and Fitch shares fall over 25% after retailer posts a loss, and they offer a weak outlook. There's that. Just getting more in these kinds of comments. Retailers are coming out with announcements. The inflation numbers are biting into their profit margins. Their costs are rising dramatically, and they can't raise prices to compensate without losing business, without losing market share. So they're reluctant to do it, and so it's costing them money, and they're not happy about it. And that's the deal they're in. That's the situation they're in right now. It's not pretty. It's just not pretty. And there you go. That's the latest from some of these stock retailers out there. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Dow now down 438.98. Tiny bit better, but not by a bunch. Home Depot down $2.97 a share. at $283. GameStop over 90, 90.38, trying to hang around at the moment. There you go, guys. There's the story. Alrighty. Okay. Woo-wee. Oh, party-moi. Excusez-moi. Another long night last night. It's not as hot here as it was yesterday. We're happy about that. We did get some overnight rains, so it's very comfortable here today in Amsterdam. Beautiful city, a unique place, really, really something. Can see why people love coming here. Okay, there we are over there, and 225 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. We got Splair TV and Nazareth and Alex, Sean and Wendy. God is amazing. They're putting on the neat festival to get this market to go higher, and I can only agree with that. It's time to bring out the neat emojis and get this market going. Time for this market to stop dilly-dallying and get with it. Let's go, baby. Neat is right. That is what we're looking for. BW, SoFi, he gets no love. Banks give good news yesterday. They will still drop the crap out of SoFi's. Some other tech company struggles on earnings. They tank SoFi. DCA is fine, but this sucks. There you go. The neat emojis are unleashed on everybody. There you go. Right on. By the way, let's do some of these. Neat. Coyote's in on it. Splair's in on it. John Gill's in on it. Not your daddy's sofa. Oh, we got the knee emojis coming up everywhere here. It's out of control. A triple dog dare. Look at that. The knee emojis. You want to join us for the knee emojis? Become a member and you can use all the emojis we got going. Not your daddy's sofa. Here we go. When we start using knee emojis, markets inevitably go higher. They just can't help themselves for whatever reason. The stocks just go higher. It's the weirdest thing. We tried to explain it, but it's unexplainable. Absolutely unexplainable. Knee emojis get posted and the markets get better. It's just the way it is. Whether you're shorting, writing a call option, trying to buy it back for less money, or whether you're looking for a stock to go down, it goes down. You want a stock to go up, it goes up. It's unbelievable. The knee emojis, out of control is what we have. We're down 397 on the Dow Jones right now. That's where we're at. Home Depot down $3. Matterport down 35 cents. Smart Rent down a dime. SoFi down 53 cents. GameStop at $90.12, down $6 a share at the moment. That is where we're at right now, everybody. Neat Nation is what we are called. Absolutely. Carol is here doing it, as everyone else is. Splair. We're all giving the knee emojis every shot we can. Hopefully get this market moving. Right on. I'm going to be on again later today. Of course, I'll be on tonight at 3 o'clock Eastern time to close this market down with you. Join me for that last hour of trading on the market. We'll see if there's an opportunity to write options or not. Hopefully, as the day goes on, you'll be able to buy back a bunch of your calls and score some nice points here, some nice gains. Well done, everybody, on all the work you're doing over there. I'm going to shut this show down and get a bit of a break in right now. And I want to say thank you for all your support of this channel, for picking up classes on my website. Thank you, all of you who become members on this channel. I do appreciate that very much. I'll see you this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern in the USA. Here in the Netherlands or in Europe, you can join me tonight at 9 o'clock European time this evening from 9 till 10 as we close out the New York Exchange with NASDAQ and everything else. See how the options close out today, all right? Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Nice to visit with you all, and I hope you're having a great day. Stay healthy out there, please, and let's see what's going on. Have a great break, you betcha. Watch The Big Short this past weekend. It's scary to see that the market today is doing worse than what it did back in 2008. That mortgage-related to the market, sadly, is due to massive over-leverage. Yeah, that's a great movie. It really is. Now, that's true. The markets have been down since Uncle Bruce went to Europe. There you go. Well, we'll just turn it around from here. Christina, you take care. We'll see you this after 3, guys. Let's see if we can get this market rolling in the meantime. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.